Well, the doctor is in. Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. Senator, great to have you here. So your colleagues in the Senate, on the other side of the aisle, I might say, are a little bit bent out of shape about people wanting government, as in the bad parts of it, to be dismantled, as in the bad parts of it to be accountable, and maybe we shouldn't be checking on transgender dinner habits of monkeys in some zoo.
Yeah, David, it looks like my friends across the aisle will work with anybody whose name is not Donald Trump. The way I see it up here right now, if this were an MMA fight, the Democrats would be tapping out. It's like Donald Trump has hit them with body jab after body jab, and now they're folding. They've lost their confidence. They don't know what to do. And now this term of bipartisanship is just a term of convenience. But now we have Donald Trump doing what he said he was going to do. He's going to get rid of waste, fraud, abuse, and incompetence. And now they've lost it, and Donald Trump is winning this fight.
And part of the problem, Senator, is that there was no transparency before. That's what the Democrats don't want. They just want to spend taxpayer dollars on what they want to spend it on. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want the American voter to know about it. All that's happening here is the books are being opened up. We're doing an audit, and yet for some reason, they can't handle that.
Yeah, take USAID, for instance. The Congress asked multiple times to open these books up for us and show it to us. We've asked the Pentagon to assess their own spending as well, and it never happens. It's taken someone like an Elon Musk to work for President Trump to do exactly what Americans ask him to do, and that's to get rid of this waste, fraud, and abuse. So I'm all behind it.
Now, Senator, you've been vocal for months on my show, in public, about misused FEMA funds. So let's get your reaction to DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, who's acting as the co-chair on Trump's new FEMA Review Council, and saying this about FEMA's future.
If the president came to you and said, "You're my DHS secretary. Do you think I should get rid of FEMA?" Get rid of FEMA. What would you say?
I would say yes, get rid of FEMA the way it exists today. You need to let the local officials make the decisions on how that is deployed so it can be deployed much quicker, and we don't need this bureaucracy that's picking and choosing winners.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, David, let's start with, it's been 4 months since the Hurricane Helene. We still have 3,500 North Carolina families that don't have a home. Something's not working right here. Here's a former governor, Governor Noem, they're saying, look, let's let the governors use some of that money and put it to work in the right way as well. So we've got to do something differently. Very much in favor of this. And then let's not forget it wasn't too long that FEMA used over $1 billion to take care and house people that were here illegally as well. So we need to redo there at FEMA. We need to start over. We need to pause and figure out how to do this the right way.
Senator, I want to get your take on the reports that Trump's DHS, Department of Homeland Security, is looking to deputize IRS agents for illegal immigration enforcement. Your thoughts on what could potentially be happening here?
Yeah, well, again, promises made, promises kept here. President Trump said all hands on deck. I think most Americans would agree with me that the most significant initial concern to our country right now is this open southern border. So let's use the IRS agents to chase the money. Think about this. All the human trafficking, all the fentanyl poisoning, behind that is money laundering. Who would be better than the IRS agents to track down that money laundering and work with the DHS agents? I think this is very good use of our resources as well. And again, I'm all behind President Trump's plan here.
You know, Senator, there's something that sounds eerily familiar to Trump's first term, and that is that agencies should work together. To your point about AML under the IRS, tracking these payments, tracking possibly illegal money laundering to many organizations. I mean, why not use all these agencies, and do they have a leg to stand on legally, or is it just Democrat obstruction?
Well, I think it's plenty of Democrat obstruction, but I just want to emphasize, goodness, we're losing 200 people, Americans, every day from fentanyl poisoning, and the money used for that is being laundered by the Chinese triad, this Chinese organized crime group, and using crypto a lot of at times as well. So we need to unleash all the resources we have to secure our borders, but then chase the bad guys, as they say, and I think the IRS is very equipped to do this. Let's work together. If wherever the hemorrhaging is going, let's stop that hemorrhaging, and that's that's exactly what President Trump's doing here.
How about the leaks that the LA Times was reporting on? Essentially, somebody tipping them off, letting them know that ICE is going to, where ICE will be, where ICE is looking for illegal immigrants, and Pam Bondi saying, if we find out who did this, we will prosecute you.
Yeah, that's the swamp right there. That's the swamp. That's why President Trump was cleaning house, trying to get rid of those people that don't want to follow the law. So I expect the Attorney General to do a great job of figuring out who the people are that it's leaking, and can't wait for this reshape of government to happen.
You know, Senator, with all of this going on, the president needs his team in place. How are things progressing down in Washington, D.C. to get the president and his team to do the things we're talking about?
Yeah, I want to brag on John Thune, Leader John Thune, and the job that he's doing. We're way ahead of Biden's pace for getting people approved. I think we're right there even with Barack Obama, his pace getting things approved. So we're making progress. This is a big week. We have Tulsi Gabbard and Bobby Kennedy Jr. up in front of us today. I think those are probably the two toughest hurdles we've got going on. Kash Patel will be a little bit of a hurdle as well, but I think we're making excellent progress. I think we have the votes. I think the senators up here are hearing Americans out there. They're hearing across the country that they want Bobby Kennedy to be a game changer, to be a disruptor as well. You know, I saw something interesting this week that President Trump's numbers with younger people especially went up like 10%, 10 points here in the past week or two. I think a lot of that is because of people like Tulsi Gabbard, people like Bobby Kennedy Jr., Kash Patel that relate to younger people as well. So it's a great week. It's a great month to be up here working with President Trump.
Well, Senator, the doctor's in. I think you've given them the prescription. I don't know if they'll follow it, though. I think I'm with Jackie on that one. There's no doctor's aid for them.
David thought you might be able to cure the Democrat derangement syndrome, but I say no chance.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Senator.